All right, let's talk about it. Matthew chapter 18 starts out with the disciples having this argument about who's the greatest in the kingdom of God. And Jesus says, truly I tell you, unless you turn and you become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles himself like a child, this one is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever becomes one childlike, this in my name welcomes me. This in my name welcomes me. So God calls us, and then he goes into saying, hey, if you cause one of these to stumble, these little ones to stumble, this value that, first of all, he's placing on children that didn't really have value. They were in this culture. He's constantly adding value to his creation, and children are his creation, and he loves children. Listen, that's why he calls us children of God. He wanted children. And so he decided that is the relationship he wanted to have with us, was children. We are his children. He is our Father. And so he says, you have to come to me. To come into the kingdom of God, it's a kingdom of children of God. So you have to come to me as a child. Well, what is a child like? A child is completely dependent on their parents for what they need, for protection, for food, for shelter, completely dependent, vulnerable. They're vulnerable, they can't make it on their own. They don't have that ability. They have this faith that it just doesn't waver. Of course this can happen, those are the characteristics of a child. They love unconditionally, right? Think about this. If a child looks in the pantry or the refrigerator and there's nothing in there, they don't start fretting and trying to figure out how to get food in the refrigerator, right? They go to the parent and say, hey, listen, we got to go to the grocery store. They know where to go to get their answers, to get their problem solved. They know where to go. And so that's what God is calling us to. He's saying, hey, come be dependent on me. Come get vulnerable with me. Tell me your deepest, darkest secrets, even though he knows them. But come tell them to me. Let's talk about them. Have childlike faith. Love unconditionally. Don't hold grudges. A child can just be mad at you, and the next second, turn around and they're giving you the biggest hug ever. That's what he's wanting us to become childlike. Part of being a child is discipline and redirection. I've been reading through the Bible chronologically as well, so I'm in Ezekiel, and they're experiencing discipline that God has given them over and over and over, these opportunities to make some changes and to be obedient and follow his path and what he knows is best for them, and they have continually not chosen, and so now it is time they're receiving discipline. But in this part I was reading today, there were surrounding countries that were, I don't know if they would say countries. Yeah, countries, I guess, that were kind of almost making fun of the fact that they were being disciplined. That Israel, God's people, God's children, the children of God were being disciplined. They were kind of making fun of, bullying, all this kind of stuff. And God said, no, I might be disciplining my children, but you're not going to make fun of them. You're not going to disrespect them or disregard them because they're mine. And so here's the thing about being a child of God is that yes, we will have discipline, be disciplined, but we'll also always be defended. Always. And so that's what we get to be called into. That is what our Jesus, our personal trainer today, is telling us. Hey, become childlike. Have fun in your movement. Have fun when you enjoy eating the food that I've created for you to eat. Enjoy living. Enjoy being carefree in my presence, laying your burdens down, coming to the one person, the one who can solve the problems. Come be vulnerable with me. Come be dependent on me. Come have faith in me and love unconditionally. That's what you're being called into today. What a gift.